Hi, my name is Mario. Welcome to another video. In this episode, I would like to talk to you about O'Reilly Learning, my personal opinions about it. Is it really worth it? Let's get this thing started. So the real question we're trying to answer is it? Now, depending on how you learn, there are different ways to get data or material that you use for learning new things. Maybe you're trying to learn how to speak in public, or maybe you're trying to learn how to new program in Rust, or maybe you're trying to learn how to categorize certain materials depending on their chemical compounds. Whatever the case may be, there is always a way to learn different things. In the context of this video, I'm talking about individuals, not about teams. So this is more like how I am going to be learning new things, how much money I'm trying to invest, how much time I'm trying to invest, and what are the options I have available. Now, all of this is taken from my personal experience. None of this is sponsored by any of the services that I'm going to be discussing in the video. So yeah, again, if any of these services want to sponsor me, well, go for it. But for now, I will be extremely honest with you. Now, specifically talking about O'Reilly Learning, back in 2019, I was blogging about it. And the idea back in the day before the pandemic hit is that I was trying to learn new things by originally my idea for learning things was reading books. And if you follow my blog, I've been reading books for a long time, and I was trying to always read more books by the month with the goal of reading at least 100 books a year. Now, that depends on how much free time you have, and I had that free time because I was commuting from my home to my office and the commute took me, or used to take me around 45 minutes, and in total, going back and the whole round going back and forth will be around 1.5 hours. So 1.5 hours that I could be using for reading and learning new things. So that's a good use of my time, a good time investment. Now, after the pandemic hit, and when we started learning that there is no way we will be in the office anymore, and we had to work remotely, things changed a lot. Reading was easier for me when I was on the subway because there was nothing else to do. When you're home, there are a lot of distractions, and granted, you need to have a discipline, and you need to think about, you know what, I want to keep the same routine I used to have. But the truth is that is not always the case. So uh, lucky enough, when I was trying to explore new alternatives to only read books, I found O'Reilly Media, and I've been using different services similar to the O'Reilly online training that is by O'Reilly Media. um, and I want to show you some of them, and how I came up into the conclusion that this is most likely probably the best online service that allows you to access content and material for learning new things. Those don't have to be technical, but I mean, if but most of them are. And I want to show you a few different examples. Okay, now the key thing that made me sign up for O'Reilly online training was this course by Bill Kennedy about Ultimate Go. Is a programming Ultimate Go program is what it's called. Is a whole course, 16 hours, well, almost 17 hours, where Bill is talking about the Go, specific idioms about the language, how to make it understandable, build correct code, and those kind of things. Now, this is, if you buy it, this is about $400. $400 only for this course. Okay, and then I was comparing. Okay, if this is $400 and at the day it was $40 a month, the subscription, well, and if I could start a trial, then I can take a week that they give me and then consume all of this content by the end of the week or before the end of the week. And if I want to continue, I will just continue service. What I noticed about O'Reilly is that it's not only about O'Reilly content or books or conferences or those kind of things that are published by O'Reilly Media, but it actually includes a lot of things that are that includes a lot of publishers, and I will show you now. depending on how you learn, and this is how it is. Now, I used to read, again, like I was saying, a lot of books, and the idea is that if I have a book like this, there is a physical book that right now is, I was checking, it costs $50. It's a $50 book that you can keep, that you can, if you notice, I have a few, like a note here and there, stickies and whatnot, and flags for making my own notes and my own comments about the specific line or page that I'm reading, or chapter, whatever the case may be. And it's $50. I mean, I want to give you those two ways to compare how much money I'm supposed to be spending. $50 for a physical book, or maybe $30 for the Kindle version. Okay, now that is still slightly more than what it costs monthly. Okay, that's our baseline. That was what we're trying to decide. Now you can keep it. It's always yours. There is no way around it. You can sell it if you want to sell the book, and that's the biggest difference with the things that you have access to through an online service, which most of the times is basically they are giving you the temporary access to read a book, watch a video, or whatever the case may be, but you don't really own that. And again, we can get into discussions about what it means owning something that you buy, but in the context of this is that you see the thing, and if your subscription expires, you don't have access to that anymore. Okay. Now, if we are comparing it to another services, we can say that is one of the first ways to discuss this. This is our first alternative, buying something directly from the publisher, depending on what publisher you like, depending on where you're trying to book the book from, or the video from, or the course from. You're buying that from that specific publisher. It may be a physical material like a book, or it could be like a digital content. Maybe you download a video, or you download a PDF, or whatever that is. So those are kind of the two differences, where you own and where you don't own. Now, what are some of the alternatives to O'Reilly Learning? I think one of the most popular ones will be Udemy, and I want to show you here. And I will go back to what I'll just show you briefly a while ago. The previous tab is, so Udemy, compared to other services, is, in the case of individuals, it does not have a way to have a plan that allow you to access multiple courses, or any of the courses that they have, by the same price by month or by year, whatever the case may be. You need to actually buy the courses individually, and that could be really expensive. Now, granted, Udemy, for example, most of the times they have some sort of like a discount or promotion, that the price that you see here, for example, 2021 Complete Python Bootcamp, is at the moment $140. Now, that's a bit expensive for a course that it seems to it has good rating, right? But it may be not. It is not something that you are looking for, or is something that maybe is not what you were trying to invest your time in, and probably you're really spending this money and maybe wasting it. Now, I know that there are a few ways that you can ask for a refund and whatnot, but again, it's a time that you're trying to invest, it's time, it's energy that you're willing to invest and whatnot. And again, Udemy has promotions some of the time, so this $139 could become $15-20, and maybe it's more feasible for you to buy the actual course. So that's the other option. Now, the other one that I have here will be another publisher that I like. This is called Pragmatic Bookshelf. Now, Pragmatic Bookshelf does not have that option to have some sort of like a monthly subscription, at least not at the moment. So you need to buy each book by the full price. And I'm showing you these publishers because this will be relevant in a few minutes. Now, I like this publisher, Pragmatic Bookshelf. Now, there is another publisher that I like, but again, most of the books are hit and miss, and it's something that you need to be thoughtful when making the decision to invest in using a publisher's service, or using something that somehow consolidates different services, similar to the way that O'Reilly Learning does. Okay, so you have Pact Publishing that happens to have a $5 a month subscription as well, and that could be something that you want. Now you have $5 for Pact. Now you have What it used to be $30 or $40 for O'Reilly, now it's 50. Now you have the other option to buy an actual book that it could be up to $50 depending on the book, or if it's physical, if it's digital, it could be 20, 25. So the price is, there's a difference between $5 to $50, and then there's another big big difference with another alternatives like Udacity, which depending on the course you need to pay a lot of money. Let's say you're trying to learn machine learning and programs, and then you're into probably NLP. Okay, I want to learn about natural language processing. All right, that sounds amazing. Okay, so how much is it? Well, it's $1,000 for 3 months, and maybe that is something that you want to invest in, and that maybe you have the money, and maybe this option is really attractive to you, right? So those are the things that we're trying to balance here, to measure here, to in the end make our own decision and make the best decision that makes sense for what we're trying to do. All right. Now, the other alternative that we have is plural site. Now, plural site, it gives you access monthly to all the courses that they have. They say that they have 7,500. That seems like a good number. It's $30 a month. But again, these are courses that are only available on Pluralsight. To my knowledge, they don't have other media outside of the courses that they have. And the courses, they are high quality and whatnot. They're definitely useful. You can learn a lot of things from there. But again, $30, $5, $50, $1,000, $500. So you have a huge difference between how much money you are willing to spend, or what the publisher is asking you. Okay, so that is the cost across the board. There are different values, different prices, and different things that you get from them. All right, let's jump into what I was telling you about O'Reilly Learning. I have been paying $39 a month since 2019, and I just recently noticed that they increased the price to $49 a month, and that is $10 more, but they actually added more features that are coming with the same price that I'm still paying. So that's a cool thing. If you were a legacy user, what they call it, you are still paying $39 a month for accessing all the same features that are available for the new users. That's a cool thing to me. Now, with all of that being said, and let me see if there is something. Okay, with all of that being said, I personally think O'Reilly Learning is the best bang for the buck. Okay, so you are paying $50 a month, which will be, if you don't get the yearly plan, it will be $600. Okay, total. What does it give you? What does O'Reilly Learning give you with that amount of money? Now, if you remember with the other courses, you can pay up to $600, $500, or $1,000 just for one thing. The cool thing about O'Reilly Learning, and I think for me, the killer feature is that it not only includes media from O'Reilly Learning or O'Reilly Media, but like I was saying, it includes from different publishers. And let's search for something. Let's say you are willing to learn Java algorithms, whatever that is. Okay, you're trying to learn those things now. So with Java algorithms, which is the search term, those are the two search terms that we're using for finding content that we're trying to use to learn, to do whatever we want. Okay, now again, the cool killer feature about O'Reilly Learning is that it not only includes content from O'Reilly Media, it does include a bunch of different publishers. Let me show you. We have the topics, which are a bunch of things, but also, let's say we're looking only books. All right, you can specify the publishers that you want. Let's say you only care about Addison Wesley, or maybe you care only about, I don't know, Apress. You see what I'm saying? And look at the list of the publishers available for a search result like Java algorithms. Maybe you only care about the Microsoft Press. Maybe you only care. I mean, that would be a little weird for Java algorithms. So hey, whatever. Um, maybe you only care about the Pragmatic Bookshelf, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, sure, you don't have access to the most recent books published by whatever publisher you're trying to get the book from. But still you can access all the older books whenever they're available, and eventually a few months after they are released they are added to the actual library of O'Reilly. So that's amazing. Now, not only that, obviously there are books, there are live events, there are some what they call learning paths, and they are also some audiobooks that are included in on this section. Okay, now that is about the content that you can read by yourself. You can access it by yourself, at your own pace and whatever. Now, the cool thing about this is that there is this concept of attend. And what does attend mean is that you can actually attend live courses instructed by people that are experts in whatever their field they're talking about. And then let's take you're interested in learning about, I don't know, Docker. Docker. You're interested in learning about Docker. You can attend this training and sign up for the course, and it is already included with your $40 a month, and you can sign up for as many as you want, and for all day if you want to, for every week, for every day. Now, again, consider the options that we have available. You have a lot of books, a lot of video, a lot of publishers, also the option to attend live training. And the cool thing about this live training is even if you don't attend live in person, you can still see a recording of whatever was discussed during that period of time. So if you want to attend live, that would be amazing because you can interact with the instructor and whatnot. If you cannot, you can still watch the recording and still learn about whatever it was discussed before. All right. Now they just recently introduced some other thing called what is it? These scenarios and sandboxes, which are sort of like a ways to understand something specifically quickly, and there is a way to whatever you were learning, have a way like a playground where you can input whatever you're supposed to solve, whatever problem you were supposed to solve, without installing anything locally, and that is amazing. Now, specifically for, let's say, in the context of sandboxes, let's say you were trying to do, I don't know, like a Docker stuff again with Docker. You can maybe try to learn without installing Docker. You can install how to, I don't know, run a container, stop a container, maybe build an image, those kind of things without installing Docker first. So that's cool. There is these different tabs. What they have are sort of like shortcuts that allow you to access the content that you can use for achieving whatever you're trying to achieve. So that is super cool. Now, specifically about O'Reilly, and O'Reilly is not perfect, to be honest with you, and I want to show you the app so you can see how it looks like quickly. Now, this is the O'Reilly app on the iOS, on the iPhone, on the iOS, iPad, whatever device that you're using. And one of the things that I don't like, I know I've been saying a lot of things about O'Reilly, but one of the things I do not like is that your training that is displayed right here is not available. The past trainings that you missed, or maybe that you want to watch again, they are not available outside of this interface. I don't know if this is the same on the Android, but it usually, this is the only way to access this training. Now I have a lot of them right here, right? And the other thing that I don't like, these are upcoming, I'm sorry, but if you tab past that, you move right there, you can actually see all the trainings that I attended since, I think, the beginning of times, 2019 in September. Okay, that's amazing. And again, if you are interested in perhaps listening an audiobook while I don't know, driving or going somewhere, you can actually download those things, and the books and the audiobooks and even the videos. I mean, you should be watching a video while driving, but you get the idea. Um, and then you can actually access. Look, I have one for Vim right here, but you can actually access the data offline. And this was super useful when I was commuting. I was on the subway. I was reading this offline. Amazing. It was amazing. Now, what does this mean in the end? I mean, after 20 minutes of talking, I think you should get O'Reilly Learning, and you should pay $40 a month, or maybe get the plan, the yearly plan, and start learning new things. If you I mean, you obviously, I'm not saying this thing, but if you're hesitant, maybe start a trial, give it a week, explore the videos, explore the things that you want to learn. And again, this is not only technical stuff. You can attend trainings that happen to be for, again, public speaking, or maybe how to learn faster, or maybe how to prepare your better point, 60 minutes to designing a better PowerPoint slide. So they're about, it's not only about technical things, but it's about to becoming a complete professional engineer or designer, or whatever the work you're doing. This is, I think, O'Reilly is a great option for learning new things. With all of that being said, thank you for watching, and that's it. I will talk to you next time. Take care.